Tuesday night. I got my days all mixed up. Good evening, everyone. I'm 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins. We have two hurricanes right off, well, one right off the coast of Florida, another one off the coast of Bermuda, so it's out there a little ways. But an amazing, one hurricane's pulling the other hurricane away from the United States. Like, amazing that's happening. And we could see some really cool stuff here coming up over the next 24 to 48 hours as they maybe get a little bit closer. Some of the models want to merge them, but I'm going to explain where I don't know if that exactly happens. We'll talk about it. Let's go to the big picture right now. Pretty cool to be able to see two hurricanes, and they're both hurricanes at this point. Imelda, of course, and Humberto right off the coast. Imelda itself is, let's see, Cape Canaveral to the center. What is that? About 400 miles, okay? About 400 miles off the coast of the Cape Canaveral. But then you notice about 500 miles, maybe a little less than that, is center to center from Imelda to Humberto. So that is just a wild picture. We've had quite a bit of wind. It's not a lot, I shouldn't say a whole lot, but it's a steady northeasterly wind, more north to northeast here along the Florida coastline. So we've got surf all up in the air. We've got beach erosion. We've got rip currents. And even though both of these are pulling away, here's the cone that goes away with Imelda and Humberto. You can see it's kind of falling apart here and moving off to the northeast, but they're still making swells. Okay, so they're going to have swell there along the east coast all week long because of those distant waves that are still being generated. Now, these are the latest numbers. 8 o'clock numbers just came in for Hurricane Imelda. It's about the same as it was. 85-mile-per-hour winds, 978 millibars is the pressure. That's what we had at 5 o'clock. It's moving to the east-northeast at 12. Same thing. Nothing's changed there. The picture here, though, is that this is better structured. Don't know if that's a little eye feature right here. Don't really think so, but we'll keep an eye on it. But either way, you can see it's moving away. And you see these little outer rain bands that are pushing through the area. In fact, some of them through the Tampa Bay area, but it's just a few light showers. We'll even keep that chance through about 11 o'clock tonight, but it'll just come through and move right out. They're not going to be doing too much there. Now, here's the latest forecast from the Hurricane Center. This one came out at 5 p.m. this evening. In Bermuda, it's not a good thing for Bermuda because this thing is strengthening. Imelda is. I mean, we've been focused on what was Category 5 Humberto, 160-mile-per-hour winds, but now it's up here and it's much weaker, 80-mile-per-hour winds at this point. Meanwhile, Imelda, not that it's sneaking up or anything, but 85 now will be 100-mile-per-hour winds by tomorrow afternoon. And then tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, it's moving over top of Bermuda, likely well after sunset. So all this is going to go down in the dark. Not all of it, but the hardest part, if it gets through there, will go down in Bermuda tomorrow night. All right, now the forecast track after that, obviously, will take it out to sea and keep it on the weaker side as it gets over cooler and cooler water. So really, it's tomorrow night that they have to watch for it. For us, we're just seeing a few of those scattered showers. Again, nothing severe is expected. There's actually a pretty good rain core out here. We just don't see it, and it's especially to the west and southwest of the eye here. The rain is actually extended all the way up into the Carolinas. And at one point yesterday, we don't have it now, but we had a cloud shield that went, well, all the way up to New York. It was about 1,300 miles all the way up to the north. All right, so that was a pretty big cloud shield, if you will. Here are the current winds. So we had gusts over on the northeast coast of Florida, Daytona especially, in the mid-20s for today. Right now we have gusts in the teens. The winds have come down a little bit. Today was expected to be the gustiest. All right, well, at least with the direct impact of Imelda. Okay, you can see where Imelda is here, and that's pulling away. So these northerly winds will pull back just a little bit as we move through tonight. Let's take a look at Humberto. There's Bermuda right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. You can see Bermuda is the M right here in Bermuda. So the center is somewhere right up in here. And look at all the convection is sheared off to the east now. Ton of wind shear coming in like this. All right. And so that's what's weakening it. Plus now it's getting over some cooler water. Okay, moving to the north at 17. That should start to move a little bit more to the northeast or east. 80 mile per hour is the current trend. And look at the forecast. Hurricane Center says, yeah, that's it. It's falling apart. It's going to get sheared apart, really, as it moves over the next 24 hours. So that's tomorrow afternoon, back down the tropical storm, and then extratropical and kind of sheared out. Now, does it merge? Let's talk about that first. The models say yes, or some of the models say yes. Let me show you the Euro wind. I think I probably adjusted this too much here. Nope, not going to see it. All right, so it says that Humberto doesn't really move much. This is tomorrow at 3 p.m. We expect it to be somewhere over here. That's the forecast. So this model is a little bit closer to the Euro. The GFS, I got to admit, is very similar. And there's Bermuda, of course, and here comes Imelda by tomorrow afternoon. That Imelda looks good. This looks like it's a little slow. All right. The trough that's picking it up is up here, and those upper level winds that are shearing are going to help to start pick the speed up a little bit. So we'll see if this lingers. It'll be falling apart. This will be stronger. This Imelda would absorb Humberto. It is a possibility that happens. I think maybe it gets a chunk of it, because I do think another chunk is going to take off and move quickly out to sea. And I would imagine that would be the main part. But that's what the Euro's thinking, and then it moves out. Now, I got to show you this, because by that point, we're talking Thursday afternoon, right? Tropics are fine as far as the East Coast is concerned with imminent threat from a storm. Remember, this is still making surf, still making waves in that direction right there, right? So that's all pushing off towards the East Coast. Now look what's happened. Look at this. Look at that wind. The storm's over here. The wind associated with the Imelda is over here. What is this? That high pressure to the north is building in. It's going to do something like this, come down over here. And the relatively lower pressures here and the highest pressure there, the difference between is what's called a pressure gradient. And in that pressure gradient, you're going to get these winds. And so we've been dealing with some wind, at least, not a lot, for the Carolina coast, the Georgia coast, the Florida northeast coast. And that's actually starting to die down, but it's going to pick back up. And in fact, some areas will see, I think, more wind with this pressure gradient coming than what they ever saw with the Imelda sitting off the coast. So let's go into, this is Friday morning. By the way, for the Tampa area, it's breezy on Thursday afternoon, breezy on Friday. And this will bring some nice weather. Dew points in the 60s, a few showers coming over, but winds 15 to 20. Now they'll be in the 30s, 20s and 30s with some gusts close to 40, maybe. Gusts in the 30s, I would say, over on the northeast coast. Jacksonville, down to Ormond, Daytona, Cape Canaveral. But then there's this, what is called a longshore current, which means it's running parallel to the coast for the Outer Banks and Outer Banks down. By the way, check out my Facebook page, Bobby Deskins Weather. I shared a link there. A bunch of those houses didn't make it today. That erosion, what we've been watching for, a bunch of them fell into the ocean. But there's more where that came from, because this is all kind of erosion through Friday. Let's go through Saturday. Same deal. Look at this wind. I mean, the highest will be offshore, but that's a solid east wind out there on the beaches. And this is here, Tampa. Sustained winds in the teens. We'll see some gusts in the lower 20s throughout the day on Saturday as well. And this is all bringing in some moisture too. There's actually more moisture coming up from the south, and an east flow off the Atlantic picks up moisture and tends to give you some afternoon showers. And I think that's what we'll see on Saturday. Then on Sunday, let me stop it here real fast for you. Sunday, the winds will start to move out of at least Florida and get up in here back into the Georgias and the Carolinas. Still. So, I mean, that's a solid 7 days with wind, and then we'll add some on top of that, especially for the Carolinas. Now, there's the high, and the low, it's not a low down to the south, it's just lower pressure, so you get that pressure gradient in between. You can see the high going by there. Just a very interesting setup here. And most of the models agree with what we just showed you. I'm very interested to see how much of the storms get together and merge. I don't really see a Fujiwara effect where they would wrap around each other first. There'll be a little bit of that because Imelda's coming in. I guess I got to do it the other way. Imelda's coming in underneath, and so it kind of catches up. But I'm not exactly sure that that's going to happen. But I think maybe a piece of it gets absorbed, because what's going to happen, I know, is Imelda's going to pick up speed and probably try to catch up at least to some of it. Now, look, all of that wind I was showing you with the pressure gradient, look at the dew points Thursday and Friday into the 60s with a breeze. Sure, there'll be a few afternoon showers, but those are actually going to be nice days here in Tampa Bay with highs in the upper 80s. And I say that to encourage you to enjoy it, because Sunday the dew point's back in the lower 70s. Monday, Tuesday, I've got an extended one here. It's going back up, and I think it'll go back up even than what this extended forecast is showing here. Let me see if I can find it. Is this it here? Hopefully that's for the next. There you go. Look at the mid-70s by Monday, Tuesday. I think Wednesday's the same. That is almost summertime humidity right there. Kind of is. And in fact, I think Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, east winds, afternoon showers and storms start on the East Coast, come to the West Coast. Dew points in the mid-70s, highs up near 90 degrees. It's going to feel like summertime, really, as we get into the middle of next week. So a couple breezes around Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just a few showers, 40, maybe 50% by Saturday afternoon. Still don't cancel plans. I think it's going to feel pretty nice. And then we'll get back into a little summer pattern by the middle of next week.